The Masked Man. In May 2023, there were several calls entering Evansville Police Station. Residents reported a dangerous mountain lion frequently roaming the area. However, there was no proof that this mountain lion existed. They did find the corpses of recently killed animals, but there was no actual proof. That's why the police had a camera set up in the forest. Instead, they found something far more sinister and disturbing. Instead of a mountain lion, a person with a creepy skull mask, a white hoodie, and wrinkled gloves was caught on camera. The weirdest part was that the person's eyes seemed to glow in the dark, which isn't normal for human beings. The picture was taken around 10 p.m. and was only caught on one photo. This photo was shared by the police on Facebook, and many residents of the small town panicked. Instead of a mountain lion, they now expected a psychopath was roaming the area, murdering animals, and maybe even worse. However, this scary photo has a rather boring backstory. As the rumors continued and the panic spread, the police made it clear that there was no reason to worry. The person in the photo is actually the police chief, who wanted to prank some of the younger officers. Despite this official statement, many people still believe that something was out there, and that the police only came up with this story to avoid panic. The ritual. Imagine you wake up in the morning and notice that your wild camera apparently recorded movement at night. The moment you look at the recordings, you see something that is downright disturbing. When a young woman named Corinna Stanhope checked her grandfather's wildlife cameras, she saw two pale humanoid figures sitting on the ground with deep black hair. It seemed to be two half-naked women who were on the other side of the camera, trying to make their way over the corpse of a dead deer. In the recordings, you can see how the two figures lift the hooves of the animal and bite into it. They don't actually seem to be eating anything from the animal, but it is clear to see that the women take the remains of the animal in their mouths before they disappear again. It is not clear what led to this obscure scene. Some people think that maybe the two women just wanted to make a joke after they found a wild camera in the forest. They disguised themselves in a scary way and wanted to shock the people by posing as possessed, scary humans. However, others believe in a far more disturbing explanation. They believe that Corinna accidentally filmed some sort of occult ritual. The women hunted down the deer in order to sacrifice and eat it. Whatever the truth may be, the picture is extremely creepy. Little Girl. This might be the most famous picture ever taken by wildlife cameras. You can see two deers and a little girl walking through the woods. The girl is wearing a white nightgown and looks like a cliché horror movie character. There are different stories regarding this picture. Some claim that the camera accidentally recorded a little girl who got lost in the woods. Others claim that the girl is living together with the animals in the forest. But the truth is usually more boring than that. In truth, this picture is part of a photo project by William Harper. He made many similar photos, and the internet came up with scary stories around them. The Crash. It was made in the evening of 15th of March 2015 in Finland, and depicts a snow-capped forest far away from any civilization. Like with any other wildlife camera, this video camera was also built to check which wild animals roamed the area. Instead, it caught the silhouette of a man who is barely visualizable in the corner. Then again, there's inherently scary about people hiking through the forest. However, there supposedly are two aspects that make this picture scary, or at the very least, mysterious. First, it is very, very unusual that at this time and at these temperatures, a person would wander so far away alone through the forest. But more important are rumors of a plane crash that happened in the area shortly before the picture was taken. A small plane crashed over the forest. Sadly, there is no way to prove this story, because not many people live in the area, but some locals claim that a person who survived the crash can be seen in the picture, wandering through the night, confused and aimless, looking for a way out of the deep black forest. Sadly, it was never found out who that person was. Psychiatric patient. This picture is commonly known as the paranormal picture and depicts some sort of figure walking through the woods. At the time, this picture was shared everywhere on social media, and even large newspaper agencies jumped on the bandwagon. People talked about a ghost caught on camera, and if it wasn't a ghost, then it must have been another paranormal creature. There isn't much information regarding this picture, but there is another rumor besides the ghost stories, a rumor that might be even more scary than a ghost. Apparently, there was a mental asylum nearby, and so many suspect that one of their patients escaped from the asylum and got lost in the woods. But this is just a local legend. Again, the truth behind this photo was never revealed. Bigfoot. KC. Kudrowski has already seen a lot of animals through her wild cameras in Minnesota. Wolves, oxen, deer, and many, many other animals. In 2009, she saw a creature she could not explain. In the middle of a cold December night, she suddenly saw a 2-meter-tall, hairy creature who was walking past the camera through the woods. Upon seeing this creature, she immediately thought that she might have captured Bigfoot or some ape-like cryptid on camera. Later, she called Tom Sherman and Bob Olson, who were both members of the Northern Minnesota Bigfoot research teams. If you want, you could say that they had experience hunting Bigfoots, because they have been hunting them their entire life. They were convinced that Casey did manage to capture Bigfoot on her cameras. Now, there have been 2 explanations for this. First, some people claim that the photo shows a bear. I personally disagree because of the creature's arms. The second theory is that this was just a prank. Some random hunter found the wildlife camera and put on a Bigfoot costume to scare the photographer. Personally, I lean more towards believing this explanation. Either way, more than 15 years have passed since this photo was taken, and there has been no conclusive evidence as to what this creature was. Fresno Nightcrawler. I'm sure many of you have heard about the legend of the Fresno Nightcrawlers. In 2008, a man named Jose recorded some strange creatures wandering through a meadow. The creatures seemed to be tall with pale skin and a somewhat human-like form. However, they seemed to have extremely long arms, an unusually long head, and there was apparently no line between their upper and lower body. Those so-called Fresno Nightcrawlers were quickly regarded to be paranormal creatures or even aliens. The picture you are seeing right now was taken in 2011 in the Yosemite National Park, so 3 years after Jose reported seeing them for the first time. The lights. This picture was taken by a wildlife camera in Fort Worth, a popular hunting area. Lisa Brock Piscassis intended for her cameras to capture deers in their natural habitat, but some of her photos turned out quite strange. In the left upper corner of the picture, there seems to be nothing less than a flying saucer. That's right, her wildlife cameras seemingly captured a UFO. The object is hovering in the air behind the deer and features a lot of circular lights. Lisa never called this mysterious object an UFO and only said that she has no idea how to categorize this phenomenon. What is interesting about this is that the pictures were taken without any apparent manipulation. The camera was never moved, and it doesn't even have a flash function, making it impossible for the light to merely be a reflection. According to Lisa, there are no cell towers or something of that sort in the area either. However, it is really weird that the object seemingly remained at this exact position for more than 2 hours. There is one theory regarding a local military base. However, the nearby military base in Archer City officially didn't issue any flights that night. Despite that statement, there are still people who believe that the Air Force either concealed this UFO or that they tested some secret technology. Breathing Earth. There are a bunch of videos taken by hikers, rangers, or wildlife cameras depicting an interesting phenomenon. Videos like this show that the Earth is breathing like any other living animal. At first, this seems rather scary, almost like a giant monster is sleeping underneath the ground. But there is no reason to worry about this. It is actually just a scary phenomenon that is easy to explain. It is about trees that are swaying in the wind. This special kind of trees has spread their roots over a stony ground, and since the roots do not get through the stony layer, all the roots are close to the Earth's surface. When strong wind and rain are present, the trees are moved so strongly that even the roots under the earth are moving. The Thing. This picture here was taken in 2007 and apparently captured a strange creature. Once again, people claim that this is Bigfoot or some other cryptid. Then again, this creature seems far too small for our usual Bigfoot encounter. Instead, it looks more like a normal monkey, who of course also doesn't belong to these woods. There's no way to find out what it was. So once again we can choose from Bigfoot, a random monkey, and a guy in a costume.